on this a little bit, but one of the big topics on Twitter right now with the faithful is why were the starters on when you're up by 3+ touchdowns, and obviously Parenko gets injured, so that's like the piece of evidence that they used. But also with the struggles as well, we touched a little bit about maybe some coaching choices and coaching decisions that were made. So are the coaches to blame for the injuries and the struggles against the line there in the fourth quarter, Jack?
No, I don't think they're to blame for the injuries. I think I can understand the frustration with it. I just think that if you say, why is Verrett on there because of his injury history, I get it. But that's just, you could say the same thing about anybody on that. Almost, you could say about the same thing about 6 of the 11 guys that are out there on the defense.
Right.
If anybody of those guys had gotten hurt, and again, they did take those guys out afterwards, and you saw Detroit. What happened was Detroit went right down the field on them. So, at 41-20, 41-17, you'd think that you could start swapping guys out. Who knows? I mean, there's all kinds of different things. I understand people that are frustrated with it, though. I don't blame them, just because I think that's a organizational issue to begin with.
Right.
I like Jason Verrett. Jason Verrett's a really good player when he's healthy, but Jason Verrett's only been healthy like 3 years since he was drafted. So you kind of had
too many players like that, right, Jack? Too many players that they're great when they're healthy, right? But we need players that are just like available, right? Best ability is availability, and we unfortunately have a lot of stars that could be superstars if they could just be available, but they just aren't.
Right, and it's the same thing with Raheem Mostert, right? We have the 49ers have the same issue with Raheem Mostert. He's extremely explosive when he plays, when he's healthy. He just can't stay healthy, and we saw that yesterday. He touched the ball twice and he gained 20 yards. So you know that he's explosive. That's not the question, but unfortunately, he just can't stay healthy. I had written an article during the offseason about his injury concerns and issues, and how they needed to keep him under 15 touches a game and so on to get him through the year, and he made it too. So that's just rough.
What about the overall, just comeback overall? Do you put any of that on the coaching staff as far as maybe how they manage the offensive drives in that 7-minute stretch, or what D'Amico did on defense in that 7-minute stretch? Can the coaches be blamed for any maybe decision making that they made in that last 7 minutes that allowed the Detroit Lions to get back into the game?
Yeah, if you want to talk about offense, on the offensive side or the defensive side, you really have to talk about the defensive side, because they're on the field the whole time, right? Because you had the touchdown, the onside kick, and the defense is right back on the field. They give up another touchdown, and again, we talked about that a little bit. I think they just were playing a little soft. They were kind of playing, like you said, a little bit more of a prevent, just kind of try to keep everything in front of you, and then Thomas still gets beat over the top, and I don't think you can really say anything bad about the offense, because the offense wasn't on the field until it was 41-33. And then the offense, as far as, blaming it on Kyle Shanahan, Garoppolo makes a really nice throw, escaping pressure, moving to his right. He hits Samuel. Samuel gets a first down and then gets hit, fumbles the ball. I know you can't really blame that on the coaching piece. That's an executional piece right there. As far as the offensive breakdown. On the defense, I just think they got a little soft. And you saw them when they had to, they let Detroit do what they had to do. They tried to keep everything in the middle of the field. Detroit put themselves down where, it got to, was it the 25-yard line? And then you saw the 49ers say, okay, we're done playing now. Now we got to stop you. Right. And you see them go, first down. You see a really nice play by Azeez Al-Shaair. That guy had a really good game yesterday too, by the way.
Amazing game.
He had a couple of really big stops. He only made, I think, 4 tackles in the game, but one of them was for a loss of 8. And he knocks a pass down, I think, or breaks up a pass right there. I think it was second down, I think it was. And then they come out on 4th down, and they've got Dee Ford on one side, Nick Bosa on the other, with Samson Ebukam to his inside, and Contavious Street. That's their 4 best pass rushers that they have on their team right now. And they bring a twist in the middle with Street and Ebukam, and Ebukam is able to bust it up the middle and cause an incompletion. So
Yeah.
really, really good, defensive strategy there, the way that they played that last 4 plays of the game.
Jay Mango, should Mitchell be the number one running back with 20 carries per game? I do believe he should be the number one running back just because of what he was able to do. The 20 carries per game, I don't know, because we need to keep him fresh throughout the whole season. And I would like that to be more like 12 to 15 carries. Give Sermon, 10, give Hasty like 5 or whatever. However you break down the other 2 running backs, but we don't want to overuse one of these running backs and then they go down because or they don't have enough gas in the tank at the end of the season and coming into the playoffs because we just overuse them through the playoffs. What about you? What's your thought process on that?
No, I'm with you. I do think that Mitchell should be the number one running back. I don't think that I don't think that Shanahan would want to get him 20 carries on a regular basis. I think that's just the way that it happened yesterday because of the way that, with Mostert going down, and, I'm not sure really where Hasty is with them in terms of their belief in him. I think you're going to see going forward, it's probably going to be Mitchell, Sermon, and Hasty. That'll be the way that they're set up.